I might be getting old, but I don't think they make Disney movies like they used to, and Disney really has been through a rough decade. But there's interesting news ahead that just came around the corner last week, so that's why today we got to talk about Disney, we got to talk about some macro developments and news, and of course we got to talk about a prediction where the course will be heading from here onwards. Hello and welcome to another video by HKCM Global. My name is Joe, and as just mentioned, today we're gonna talk about Disney company, which is not just about movies, but I'll come to that in just a second. Don't want to get ahead of myself there, but of course we gotta talk about movies. Disney is all about movies, all about the experiences and memories that they create. It's Mickey Mouse, it's The Lion King, it's Star Wars, it is all of those. Disney lives and thrives off of creating such memories. But regarding those movies, I really do think that we have to go back a full decade before we find the last real good solid Disney movie, at least in my mind. And when I say that, I really gotta exclude Marvel here, because I have to admit I'm a huge Marvel fan. I think the Avengers series has had some amazing movies. Of course, there have been some downsides as well, like Captain Marvel, for example. However, in general, Avengers movies, I like them, I think it's great. So that's why I would not really include the Marvel movies in that harsh judgment. But talking about pure Disney movies, I think, in my mind, the last amazing Disney movie that they produced has been Frozen in 2013. That's how far you gotta go back. You gotta go back a full 12 years to find the real last amazing Disney movies that they have pumped out in recent years. And that's not a good sign. But then if we talk about the company Disney that is traded on a stock exchange, which we as investors are of course interested in, it's not just all about movies, but Disney has three big segments that they pull their revenue from. First of all, of course, entertainment, and that is cinematic movies, that is streaming services, of course, like Disney Plus, also Hulu. Then it is sports, which mainly includes their ESPN network and all their sports events that they stream and distribute over ESPN. And lastly, and regarding profits, mainly it's the Disney experiences, so the Disney World Resorts. And whilst we can here look at the distribution of revenue, and it looks rather well distributed with a roughly equal share on entertainment and experiences, and then sports quite a bit behind, but still pretty substantial in revenue. If we're looking at profits, then the Disney experiences, so the theme parks, the resorts, make up the major lion's share. They make up to 75%, depending on the year, of whole Disney profits. So then without their experiences, the Disney resorts and theme parks, the Disney brand would barely be profitable. And talking about exactly these theme parks that are the main profit driver of the company Disney. Disney has been releasing interesting news last week, namely that they will be opening a new Disney theme park. So far that is Anaheim in California, that is Orlando in Florida, that is of course Disneyland Paris in France, it is Tokyo, Shanghai and Hong Kong. And so far these only 6 locations have been this huge profit driver for Disney, and the new one that is gonna be coming up in the next couple of years is Abu Dhabi. And of course, again, there has been a lot of controversy because Abu Dhabi being a super conservative country, whether that aligns or doesn't align with Disney values, but we will not gonna dive into that topic now. Okay, but so far that is enough fundamental macro news. Let's dive into the charts and see what the future holds, all based on our Elliott Wave theory. Which, by the way, you can get predictions exactly like the one that I'm gonna share with you now on 200 stocks. May I say 200 assets? That's the better way to put it, because we also analyze crypto, we analyze gold, commodities, oil, you name it. 200 markets. On a daily basis, you'll get updates, you will get entries, you will get push notifications, link down there in the description. I'd highly recommend you checking that out. So then, talking about the crisis that Disney has been in recent times, if we start from all the way back at the peak during the COVID pandemic, oh wonder, ever since then, Disney has in the low lost roughly 60% of shareholder value. So quite a substantial loss for such an iconic brand as Disney is. But the good news is, based on our Elliott Wave theory, we do believe that we are almost out of the woods yet. So let's quickly get into the meat of it, of the count that we have established. Because you can see, starting from the wave 1 top that we have established in March of 2021, we so far have been in an A, B, C, leading into an overreaching W correction, short X wave to countercorrect, and ever since the final correcting wave Y to establish the wave 2 low back in October of 2023. And ever since this wave 2 low here, we have been in the early stages of a now developing wave 3, which most of the time is the most impulsive one and the one that will cover the most ground. So super interesting times right now. And so far, we reckon that we've established the wave 1 top of the overreaching wave 3 already. And we have ever since seen a ABZ zigzag correction all the way down to a admittingly very low wave 2 retracement, and we are now currently, of course, expecting a wave 3, 4, 5 to follow. However, as of now, we cannot with full confidence say whether or not this is the direct undercount to this overreaching wave 2, or whether or not we were gonna see another 1, 2 to follow through. Meaning, so far, we cannot call with full confidence whether this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that is now developing will already take us to the high of this overreaching wave 3 that would follow here this wave 2 down there, or whether or not this is only the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave count of an underlying, or let's say sandwiched in between count between this overreaching count here that we see the 1, 2 and this 1, 2 count that we see right here. But either way, this target zone here will in our primary scenario not be reached again for a long time. And starting from the very top of this target zone, we are currently already roughly 20% in the profit. And if we take the optimum target here of the target zone, we would be currently already up 32%. So real solid gains, amazing entry here for Disney. And if we jump over to the more imminent time frame, you can see it even better here. You can see that so far we have been in an A, B, C correction down here to this overreaching wave 2, which, as just mentioned, really has come super low. So this would have been the invalidation marker at $78.73. At this point, we would have to pull this primary scenario off the table, but we have not hit that invalidation scenario yet. And since we have already grayed out this target zone, we really do have quite a bit of confidence that we will not again reach this validation zone. So that means now currently, as we are here in the development of this wave 3 or already at the top of this wave 3 count here in red, the validation marker that now is of higher interest to us is, of course, first of all, the $92.18, because at this $92.18, we would start to drop into the price territory of this here before developing wave 1, and this cannot happen in Elliott Wave theory. And that means for this now expecting wave 4 correction, we will definitely not get into this target zone here, well, at least not in our primary scenario. There still is an alternative scenario on the table, currently marked at only a probability of 34%. Technically possible, but we do not see it as a primary scenario. Only it is an alternative scenario here, only on a technical basis. But we really do expect with confidence that the chart is going to follow through in our primary scenario, establishing a 3, 4, 5 wave count all the way to our overreaching wave 1 top here, followed by another rather deep correction here to our wave 2 bottom, and then the wave 3 to follow through, taking us further along on that course to new all-time highs in the wave 3 of this overreaching count that we have just shown you here on the overreaching time frame. So if that was of value to you, I hope you consider subscribing here to that channel, turn on the bell notification so you will never again miss another video. We'll be pumping out lots of those, and if you are on either X or Instagram, you can also directly in the description check out our link taking you to our socials. There we post the daily inspirational stuff, educational stuff, short digestives that you can read maybe on your lunch break, that will keep you up to date and keep you more informed in your trading decisions, and that hopefully will lead you into a brighter financial future. So having said that, see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.